And welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia and you're watching Domestic Diva DIY. Today I'm super excited because I am going to be making a live cedar garland or live floral garland. This is something that I've always wanted to use in my home, but never really wanted to pay any prices, like the prices that they want for you. These are sometimes can range up to $40, $50 to $90 depending on the size that you are choosing for. So I went into my garden, snipped a whole bunch of evergreen branches. I got some boxwood, cedar, some other stuff which I don't know, pine I think, but I'm not sure if that's what it's called. I don't know my greenery that well. And then I'm going to be, as a base, I decided to use one of the garlands, which I will show you in a minute, that I had picked up at Dollarama a couple years ago. And the reason for that is because this garland has some pine cones and some berries, and I thought this would be kind of nice to incorporate into this garland. I want to use this garland on my mantle in my master bedroom, and I thought this will look really good. And if this is something that really works out well for me, possibilities are endless. I might use it for my banister or whatnot. So we'll see how this works out. So I'm taking you along as I'm doing this for the very first time myself. I've done my pots, I've done swags, I've done lots of different items. I've done wreaths, but I've never done a garland. And I will have all those videos linked in the description box if you want to check out how I do my pots, how I created some wreaths and whatnot. They will all be linked down below. So enough chatting. I will get started on this and take you along with me. So this is the garland that I am starting with. Now, instead of a garland, you could also use a rope, although rope might not be as bendable kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Or you can use a florist green rope. There's such a thing. But I didn't have any of those, but I had this, and I was planning on adding some pine cones and some greenery, different greenery and berries as well. So I thought this would work good. And then you're going to need some shears, garden shears, as well as some wire cutters and some florist wire. Now I have two different ones simply because the thicker green one I didn't think I had enough, which I was right, so I have also a thinner one. And I'm going to start off with this is cedar, I believe. It is a little bit droopier, and I'm going to attach my first one as a starting point. Now, when you're adding this wire, you don't want to cut it. You want to continuously wrap it around. And this is a little bit difficult if you have a big bunch of wire. So you just have to make sure it doesn't get tangled up. So I have a couple different shades of this greenery. So I want to mix it up. So I'm going to start building it, and every time I add a piece of greenery, I'm going to do it a little bit lower than the other one, and then wrap it around, and then a little bit lower and wrap it around. I'm also going to add some boxwood here just because I do like the way that looks, and some of that I'm not sure if it's called pine, but it looks like the Christmas tree branches. I'm going to add that. I got most of this greenery from my garden. I did have a couple pieces left over from my Christmas pots that I did. I will have my Decorate With Me from Porch video out on my home channel next Monday. So make sure you tune into that. And that's also a open invitation. So if any of you want to join me in, I would love that. If not, just come and join and watch the videos that are going to be there in the playlist. Like I mentioned before, I love creating stuff out of greenery because it is fraction of the price that you would buy it at the store, and it's really not all that hard to make. It's a process, and some of it takes a while to make it, but I think it looks better than the stuff you buy because obviously you made it yourself. So I hope you do enjoy this DIY. I know it's a little bit different than your typical dollar store and all that stuff, but I wanted to include it because I will be decorating with this in my home. So I wanted to share it with you and show you how I made it. So you just take this and you continue building up, adding greenery. You can mix it up. You can also just leave it in one type. I would definitely go with a cedar. If I was doing this for my railing, I would probably just stick with the cedar branches and just not make it as full but more as droopy uh, down. And speaking of droopy, because this is going to be sitting on top of my mantle, I didn't need it to go. I was okay for it to go in two directions and down in the middle. If I was hanging this on the banister, I would definitely, like on a railing, I would definitely make it just kind of go and droop onto one side because you want it to kind of hang down from the railing. So that's what I would do with that one, and I probably would not make it as full as I'm making this one. But it is all personal preference, and you just make it the way you want to make it. I got tons of inspiration on Pinterest. I even read a couple blogs just to see how I should do this. So this was definitely Pinterest inspired, but I definitely put my own spin on it. It is a lot thicker than most of the ones that I saw, and that is exactly what I wanted out of it. Now, because the garland had the berries and the pine cones and all the little extra embellishments, I'm not going to be adding any more. But if you were to add these separately, what I would recommend that you do is assemble your garland first, and then when you start with your embellishment, then just add them to it just by shoving them under the wire, so that way you don't have to wrap them into your garland. You can just kind of put them where there's a space or where you see fit, and they should wedge under the wire pretty easily. So now that I am getting closer and closer to the end of this garland, I'm going to change direction of the way the greenery is going, because you want it to droop on the other end when you put it on the mantle as well. And if you just kept going the same direction, that would not happen. So I'm going to put a couple branches the other way and kind of try and blend it in as much as I can. And also, when you are wrapping the wire around, make sure you are getting all the little ends underneath tucked in, so that way you don't have one that's kind of sticking out on its own because you didn't wrap the wire enough. And like I said, so here I am, I changed the direction, and now I'm just trying to cover up that space where it shows that I've changed the direction by adding more greenery, and I'm adding them in both ways and just wrapping the wire around and trying to blend it in. Once the garland was finished, I just went over it and made sure that it was equally thick everywhere. And then I also took out some of those berries and pulled them out just so they show a little bit more in case if I did catch them in the wire, as well as the pine cones. And then I just pulled the little greenery apart a little bit just so it has more fanning out everywhere. I guess I hope that makes some sense. You're gonna have to probably adjust it, which I did once you put it on your mantle, just so it goes in the direction that you want it, and so, you know, the thickness is the same everywhere, because once you have it on a mantle, you're gonna have probably a better better look as to where it needs to be pulled more or tucked more or turned more. So what you guys think? It was a little bit tricky, but I think it turned out so nice. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you have enjoyed it. And if you like these type of videos, let me know down in the comments so I know I maybe, you know, there's other things in the future that are kind of outside of the box thinking for me anyways. But you know, so like I said, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me down a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!